Hello, beautiful Kickstarter backers. I have an exciting update about the Seer Tarot. In this video, I want to go over the guidebook, the final box that came in from the printer. It arrived yesterday. I'd love to go over some of the blips that have caused delays. I think that's important that we go over that. And these beauties. In the beginning of the campaign, if you remember, you had a stretch goal option that when it was hit, you got to choose between a 4x6 print or a video walkthrough of the majors. Now, you guys chose the video walkthrough of the majors, but because you have been so patient and so, you guys have been supportive throughout the whole life of this campaign, and it has been longer than expected, longer than you would like, longer than I would ever want. And so as a thank you, it's a token, it's a small gesture, but as a thank you from me to you, just to acknowledge how awesome and how patient you guys have been, I am sending you the 4x6 print anyways, so you're going to get both of those stretch goals. So that is just thank you because you've been so amazing. All right, so on to the actual product. Here is the guidebook. The final guidebook ended up to be 297 pages. This is my proof. Yours doesn't open quite the same way, but it's 297 pages. We expected it to be about 250, so it definitely has, it's a little bit bigger than expected. Here is an example of, I'm gonna just show you the magician here. We have the key concepts or the key words, upright and reverse, light seer, shadow seer. There's the experience overview. This gray band no longer exists. I didn't love the way it looked. We have the magician's message. We have a mantra. And then here there are questions for the seer. Those are journal prompts where you guys can go in, and if you want to go deeper with any of the archetypes, or you really want to explore, there's just some questions for exploration. And then every major has a page that is light from the community, and that light from the community are community comments, things that you guys saw in the cards when I shared them. Sometimes it's even things that people had questions about, or people disagreed with or didn't like, and I think that's amazing to hold space for that kind of dialogue. I think when we do that sort of thing, everyone gets to learn from each other's perspectives. So I'm really happy about including those in the majors. And the box. This just came in and I've been like this for 24 hours, like opening it and closing it like a little kid. So the box is, I am so happy with it. It's super high end, it's elegant, it's really nice cardstock. I love that little magnetic flap. The first stretch goal that you guys unlocked was that spot gloss. So you can see that there. It costs a little bit more to do those matte and glossy, those hits of gloss. And it just makes things look a little more high end. So there's spot gloss here. We see the journey of shadows and sunshine. And if you remember, you guys voted on this design where you had the option of the High Priestess, the Fool, or the 4 elements. And it was here originally. When you chose the elements, it made so much more sense when we did our finals, just to shift it down onto that part of the box. You can see there's kind of the spot. Hopefully you can see there's a little hit of gloss there. And it made sense. It looks better when you're sitting it on a shelf. That part, if you pile stuff on top of this deck, that will still be visible. And so I'm going to open the box. There are 2 things in the box that I'm going to share with you that have been remedied, but I really want to share them because, as you know, we've had some bumps along the way with this project. We had color samples that came back too dark. I went with 2 different printers. I've actually done 4 rounds of color testing. It cost me about close to $2,000 US extra to do my color samples to get them right, because that's so important to me. And every step of the way when there's changes and we think we're final, I always want something in my hands, which costs money and time to get it created and sent over, because there are little blips that can happen. And so I am so glad that I did it for this one, because as you can see, it looked beautiful in the template and beautiful on screen, but this came in flipped. So that has since been remedied. The printer has that already flipped the right side around. I'm going to read this to you because as we went through the whole 2 years of this was like a 2-year project for me here. And life, you get pulled to the right, you get pulled to the left. And every time I had to come back to center with, what does this image need to be? What does this guidebook need to say? I always went back to this as sort of the guiding light of the deck. So it needed a special place. And into the gray we follow, like 1,000 flickering stars. And there in a sunlit hollow, we lose and find what is ours. So that is right there. And your box has a division here to keep those cards from doing that kind of shifting and shuffling thing that that I have a couple of boxes that do that and I really dislike it. So there will be a partition there. And the other reason why I'm so glad that we went through and like demanded, no, we need to have this in hand, is because even though the template was based on this, oh, what a difference a few millimeters makes. So these sorts of things come back, and it doesn't quite fit because it fits perfectly on the outside of that cardboard, but not on the inside. And so that has also been remedied. And now I'm going to share with you something that makes me really happy. Now that I just shared with you, like, here's the bumps in the road. Now let me share with you, please, some of the things that are just like, that make me smile. When these came in, that green edge is everything for me today. I just love that turquoise. I'm not the only person that's ever done this, but I have a lot of decks, and I do not have any decks that have a green edge or a colored edge for that matter, except for maybe black. And they exist. I know Deja Druid just did a personal power oracle deck with purple. And there's another creator that I love who I don't know if she's announced it, so I won't say anything. I think they exist in the indie community, but they're pretty rare still. And I love the way it looks with the back of the card. It just makes the back pop so beautifully. And it also makes the cards pop so beautifully because there's so much turquoise and blue and green in this deck. You can see that it really plays off of the colors. And even when there's no green, it still makes the images pop so beautifully. So I hope that you guys love that edge as much as I do. I feel like I want to leave it out on my mantle and just look at it. Maybe I will, because I'm so proud of that. This has been a project with so many blips in the road, but one that I am being super meticulous about because I want to be so proud of it. I want it to be something that you guys love. I want it to feel as good in your hands as it looks on screen. I want it to be kind of like, it is the culmination of so much energy and love and time. And as you know, I mentioned this in one of the last updates, that this will become a Hay House project in the future. And so I don't have any second editions to get this right. This is like, there's one edition and one edition only that is totally in my hands as the creator. And so for me, I'm so happy that I took a little bit of extra time. I hope that you agree that it was the right decision. Again, I'm so sorry if, I know that it is disappointing. I've been in your shoes waiting for decks, and I know exactly what that's like. And so thank you for being patient with me again. And I will give you an update soon as I have a final date, which will be, so if you are looking for when is the final date, next week, I will have my final. There's a whole sheet that I get from the printer, and that at that time, as soon as I give that okay on every single color card, that's when the printer can give me a final date. They can only give me a date when everything has been approved and everything is perfect. And so at that point, I'm going to know the exact date of shipping, and then I will send out your surveys, and then it is like, woohoo, we're almost there. We're so close to be here, to have the box in hand, to have the cards in hand, to see the color, to see how that teal worked after they hand applied that color. I mean, everything is in order and it's coming together. So we're almost there. So thank you again for your patience, and I will update you more soon.